What's up, guys? Welcome to New York Muscle Radio. In today's episode, we discuss ideal weight for bulking, where you should sit and what you need to do to take your body to the next level and leveling up. We talk about New Year's resolutions. Should you set them or should you not set them? We talk about convenient meals, easy ways to get your macros in, and much, much more. Guys, also, don't forget, our transformation group begins the first week of January, so now's your chance to head on over to newyorkmuscleradio.com/transformation and sign up. It's your chance to get discounted coaching and be in a group setting with a ton of other people who are just as motivated as you are to help you achieve your goals. Enjoy this episode.
New York's very own muscle building coaches, Anthony Bevilacqua and Pete Kacharian, proudly present to you New York Muscle Radio.
So what's going on, man? A couple days before New Year's and it's like fucking 10 degrees outside.
It is, man. I think it was 15 at some point today. It was freezing. It didn't look like it was cold out, but it was cold today, and it's definitely feels like Christmas now and New Year's. It didn't at all during December, but now it feels about that time.
I literally ran outside to throw the garbage out because it's garbage night by me, and I ran out in a hoodie just to collect the garbage and throw it out to the front, like bring it to the curb. And dude, I feel like I got frostbite on my hands in that amount of time. It's definitely colder than 15 because the wind.
Yeah, it's that cold where it just kind of smacks you in the face the second you walk outside.
Yeah, I hate that feeling when it hits you and you feel like you have to throw up. You get that, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like that cold, it's like, oh god, and then you get like that instant like nausea feeling.
Yeah, it was bad like that last night too. It was cold, and I had to get more food last night. I had like no food in my house, so I was like, oh shit, it's cold out, but I gotta leave to go get some food. So I made a late night grocery shop run, and I didn't even want to leave because it was so cold, but I had to brave the cold to get my macros in.
What'd you end up buying?
I got 2 containers of peanut butter and
2 cans.
2 cans. They didn't have cans, so I had to go with the plastic ones. But got 2 plastic bottles.
Dude, you can't use plastic, man. Plastic is the government makes that. It's not good.
Plastic is for poor people.
No, what's that whole thing like those hippie people talk about with plastic? It has that whatever fucking number in it that you're not supposed to have.
The BP thing?
Yeah. BP,
well, I got a BP the BP free water bottle, so I'm kind of making up for it, right?
No, it has to be glass, man.
So, yeah, but I just took a run. I got some I had like no fat in my house, and I was really under my macros, so I had to make a run. So I got some ground beef and I got some peanut butter, and so I had to make a run last minute, but it was freezing out, but it's all good.
Yeah, I hate this. Every year around this time, I always question, I'm like, why the hell do I live in New York? It's like a constant thing that I question myself. Like, why do I live in New York? Why am I still here? Like, why don't I just put it on my goals list for 2018 to move out of New York,
Yeah, but then at the same time, too, it's like every time you eat at a good diner or you have some really good pizza, you're like, yeah, this is why I live in New York.
I don't know, man. I mean, the diner, yes. Because the diner by me is really, really good. It's like exceptionally good. But aside from the diner, and I guess pizza, whenever you go anywhere else, they always talk about the New York bagels, too.
Yeah. But you know what it is? You go anywhere else and people are like, oh, this is a great pizza place. Like, oh, this is the best pizza place. Like, if you're in, like, Florida, if you're in California, oh, this is the best pizza place, right? And you have it, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
This is the best. Like, yeah, the best there is, like, the second to worst here.
I actually had pizza today. My wife and my daughter wanted pizza, so they ordered a pie. And my daughter likes pepperoni pizza. I love pepperoni pizza, so I'm so glad that she's into that.
Yeah, I could go for a full meat lovers pizza. If I get, I usually just get plain, or I go full meat lovers.
Yeah, but sometimes the meat lovers is
It could be pretty bad, but I like it with the
depends where you get it from.
Meatball on, it's great.
I like chicken on my pizza too. Sometimes what I'll do is if I need like protein and I get pizza, I'll literally just put some grilled chicken on it. I like that.
It's not bad. I mean, if I make pizza, I usually do that. I don't throw my own chicken on pizza I buy. Like if I buy pizza, I just eat it how it is.
If I need it, it depends. Don't act like that was weird to do.
It is weird, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna make my own chicken and put it on this pizza.
You've never done that.
No, I put it on my own pizza, but I haven't put it on pizza I've purchased before.
I've done that. how you get macros in, man.
I mean,
Said
I've
do anything to get
probably
the macros
eaten
in.
the pizza and then just had the grilled chicken afterwards, but I don't think I put it on there.
So what else, man? What else is new? Did you set any New Year's resolutions for yourself? Or let me guess, like last year, you don't set New Year's resolutions every year. You just, if you want to change something, you change it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I haven't done anything as far as worrying about next year yet, but I do want to kind of map out what my goals for the whole year are. I don't like to use resolution as I don't like to use that term because I'm not trying to change anything, but just like with training, same thing with life. Like you always have some type of progression you're going towards. So it's like right now in my training, like, okay, I'm sitting at like 202, 203. Yeah, I want to get up to 205 is like the next step, Same thing with like, whatever you're doing, I'm sure with, your lifts as far as like your power lifts. Okay, I'm squatting this much. I want to, squat this much. So like, the same thing in life. Like right now I'm making X amount of dollars. I want to make, X amount of dollars plus this, So I want to, obviously got to plan what my goals are for next year. But again, I'm not trying to like do anything like, brand new. Okay, I'm going to stop eating chocolate. I'm going to go work out 6 days a week. Like I already do that stuff, It's like.
So I'm curious, what do you want to accomplish in 2018?
My goal for next year, overall, the big picture is going to be a financial goal. I haven't broken it down into like a solid figure number or like how I'm going to do that. But like as far as like if I can improve on one aspect of my life in 2018, it's definitely going to be financial. As I get older, I focus on that stuff more and more. I'm not like a person that like is really into money, but like as far as, how that affects the quality of my life in terms of when I make more money or when business is better, the quality of my life changes. So I'm looking to expand in that area. That's definitely my main focus. I mean, we kind of spoke about this a little bit here and there. It's crazy the amount of time and effort we put into bodybuilding and fitness and training and stuff like that. And that stuff never ever can take a back seat. Like it's like almost impossible for me, and I know it is for you too, but I'm trying, man. I want to give it a little bit of a back seat and focus on business more and just expanding that way. I think eventually I'll be able to do it, but it's going to take some time.
That's good, man. It's about time you set a concrete goal. Did you set one last year? Let's talk about that, actually. I'm curious. Did you set a goal for last year? And if so, did you hit it? He's like, what can I lie about?
That's a great question. No. Man, I wish I had the notebook that I did write down some goals for 2017 last year, and I can't remember. I can't remember what I wrote down. The funny thing is, I remember this. I'm going to tell you this, though. The funny thing is, I wrote down like maybe 5 goals. They weren't like goals where it's like, okay, I'm going to have to actively like pay attention to these goals to make sure I hit them. Like every day I need to review them. Am I leading towards my goals? Am I not? They were ones like kind of like if I were to just keep doing what I'm doing, I'll probably hit them. And I remember, and it's funny because I can't even remember what they are. So they obviously weren't that significant, but I remember maybe halfway through the year already just hitting like at least 3 or 4 of them out of the 5. And already, I mean, I've obviously.
How don't you remember what they are? You gotta remember at least
like
one.
I said, they weren't even that significant. I'm trying to think of what they were. Actually, yes. One of them, and I remember this too, actually. So this actually is the most recent one, but I'm bad because I don't review my goals, which I probably should. But you know what? If you complete them, you're successful, then that's all that matters. Results are what matters. But one of them was I wanted to get a new product for New York Muscle Radio, and I wanted it to go on Amazon. So that one was accomplished, and very recently, actually, because we just got the Strong Grips on Amazon like about a month and a half ago now. So
no, it was less than a month. It's just about a month.
About a month, yeah. No longer than a month, I'd say at this point. We got it up there, but that was that was something again that we didn't like actively pursue it, but we ended up accomplishing it because of just how we were progressing with everything that we were already doing.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of which, we have the transformation. I've been setting goals every month. So I set my yearly goals, and then I set monthly goals to hit those yearly goals. And literally for December, I have to fill up the transformation group that starts in January. That's like my goal. So it's like that's what I've been trying to do these past 2 weeks, just trying to kill that transformation group and trying to get everyone in there that needs to be in there. So remember, that transformation group starts. We wanted to start on January 2nd, but it's been a quiet week, man. So many people are away, and the holidays and stuff. And, so if you're listening to this now and you're interested in signing up, you got to head on over to newyorkmuscleradio.com/transformation, because I love those programs. I love the interaction that we get with those people in the group. And it's just a really, really fun environment. So that's been my goal. So I'm trying to accomplish that goal before the end of the new year. So we got to fill up the groups and, head on over there and make my goals come true for 2017.
Isn't that
at least the last one anyway.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy, though, how just when you're in that structure, like a group like that, when you have your plan and you have other people following the same plan as you, how much easier it is to be successful at whatever it is that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's like even this, like when I'm talking about business with me and you, how much easier is it that there's two of us working on the same goal together versus just doing it alone, So like for people that go into like the transformation group or any group in general, as far as their fitness goals or whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, when you have that whole group environment like that, they're all following with the same goal, same structure, same plan every day, day in and day out, and they have each other to be accountable. Like, how much easier is that for you to be successful when you have that environment,
Yeah, I like the competition between the people too. I think that's cool. Like, the people that secretly compete with each other. Like, it's not outright knowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you'll see one person will post their lifts and the other person will post the same lift too. It's funny. It makes me laugh, when I see that. But it's cool. It's like good, healthy competition,
Right.
It kind of, what it also does? It lets you kind of know where you stand too. You know?
And it also it encourages you to go above and beyond, because if you're like, if someone's right on your tail, then you're like, oh shit, I could definitely level up. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing with me and you. Like, we joke around a little bit, and it's like, oh Pete, your arms are only a half an inch bigger than mine. So then it's like, to you, it's like, I could definitely catch him. He's only a half an inch ahead. And then for me, it's
not
like,
definitely going to.
Yeah.
See,
exactly. And then I look at it and I'm like, shit, he's right behind me, man. He's a half an inch behind me. Then I gotta, go above and beyond where I'm at right now. If I want to stay ahead. You know what I mean? But if you weren't there trying to catch me, I wouldn't have that same motivation and wouldn't have that mindset.
You're already cool, man. You're an easy talker. I gotta find someone else now.
Nah, man. I mean, listen. Once you do it, then you could talk about it. But for now, man,
I can't wait, man, because I'm coming up close. You even know it too. That's why you have that smirk on your face right now.
Hey, listen, man. If you do it, my hat's off to you, because everyone's got their strong points and their weak points, and arms are definitely not your strong point, and they're my strong point. So if you could get your weak point up to my strong point, then I gotta reevaluate what I'm doing.
I just think it's so funny, because when I talk to you about it, like when I make jokes to you about it in the gym, like, Pete, I'm coming for you. I'm coming. And you try to say comments back, but like in your head, you're like, fuck, this kid's got to catch me. Like I could read that on your face. It's so funny.
Yeah, you're probably going to catch me, man. Probably.
I can't wait. I can't wait till that day. I'm just going to stop working out after that.
I might too, man. I might too. We might both stop.
Yeah, I'm done. So actually, I'm going to talk about something we talked about a little bit earlier, touching upon it again. And we're talking about bulking and just talking about, leveling up. I like that term that you just used, but leveling up as far as like your body. And we talked about this in the bulking podcast a little bit, but we didn't really talk about this. And I kind of read it and I thought it was really interesting. I read that in order for you to be at your ideal weight, so everybody kind of has a goal weight that they want to be at. So for me, I'd like to compete at like 200, 195, something like that. So in order for me to compete at that weight, so that means be really, really lean at that weight, I'd have to bulk up to 10% above that. So that would put me at, just to say 200 for even numbers, that would put me at like 225, 230. And I don't know, man. I think I agree with that as a standard rule. I don't think that you could, okay, if I want to compete at 200, and the reason why I'm picking a number, I should back up a little bit and talk about this. The reason why I'm picking a number is because I just feel more filled out at 200 versus being really lean at like 180, 185.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
So being 200 pounds lean, the same leanness as I would be at 185, is a much better feeling. So that's where I'm getting that number from. So anyway, so in order for me to do that, I'd realistically have to get to 230. So I want everyone to listen to your opinion on that matter, because we talked about this before. Yeah. So it's kind of like me and you are repeating this conversation, but I want you to hear, and then I want to talk about it a little more, because we talked about it via text. But
yeah,
so I kind of know where this conversation is going to go already.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot that I could expand on based on what we said in the text, and like while I do agree 100%, like there's part of me that disagrees. So like The short answer I'm going to say is that like it really depends, and that the depend part is really on the individual, because you, for the longest time, your body would kind of like, if you were just hovering, let's say, if you were maintaining, you're not pushing the envelope as far as calories, you're not dieting, like your body will kind of sit somewhere between, like I'd say 198 and like 205. Like that's kind of where your body just naturally is hovering right now, like where it kind of feels comfortable. The body fat's in a good range, calories are at a good point. Like that's where your body's going to kind of settle right now, you know? For me, I'm like the same weight as you right now. You're like, what'd you say, 206 right now?
Yeah.
I'm like 203, okay? So we're like about the same weight, and we're like the same height and everything, right? But where I hover...
Arms are about the same size.
where I hover is like, realistically, like if I'm not pushing the envelope in terms of calories, I hover at like 190, you know? So I hover about 10 pounds lighter than you, you know, more or less. So I'm pushing the calories hard. I forced my body weight to get up to about 202, 203 right now. I can maintain it here as long as I keep my calories high. But if I want to go up above my weight and cut back down, going from 203 to like 220, if I want to come back down to 200, it's going to be a much more aggressive process than for you to go up to 220, then cut back down, or to kind of drop back down. So that number, you know, is going to be different for everybody. I mean, same thing like you said, I feel good at 200. But you can naturally sit at 200 without forcing your body to get there. I feel good at 200, but I got to force my body to get up there. So that number might be different for everybody. And I do agree, you got to go up. You got to go up in weight. You got to hold heavier weight, and then you can kind of come back down. You know, that whole idea about going on a lean bulk. I mean, we talked about this in the bulking podcast, like you said earlier. Once you get to a certain point, you're just going to have to put body fat on. And I'm at the point right now where I'm definitely gaining a little bit of body fat, but I'm getting so much stronger as a result of carrying that extra weight and carrying even body fat. Even though it's not muscle, that extra weight's making me so much stronger, which is allowing me to lift heavier weights, put on more muscle and things like that, that, you know, it's kind of worth it. So I agree with what you're saying, but that amount is probably a little bit larger for you than it is for me as far as how far you could take it in your bulk versus when you're going to diet back down. I might be able to push it to like 210 and then try to diet back down, but ultimately I'm probably going to, you know, have to drop lower than 200, you know. But everybody's going to be different. You know, there's some people that just don't put body fat on, so going from 200 to 220 is like almost impossible, you know, because who's going to put on 20 pounds of muscle as a natural bodybuilder, you know, in any relatively short period of time, you know? So some people that's not even doable, you know, but for average genetics, you could definitely do it. It's just a matter of keeping it clean versus sloppy. That's going to be the big thing, because I don't want to get to 220 sloppy just for the sake of getting sloppy. 220, you know?
Well, that's what happened to me last time, is when I tried to really push it and I got to 217. You know, that wasn't the morning weight anyway, but still, whatever. I was 217. Yeah. It was a sloppy 217, and I hated the way it looked. So I was like, oh, you know what? F this. And then I dieted right away. So it was almost like a waste to get there because I didn't hold that weight. It's just so – it's like one of those things at Catch-22. You have to be uncomfortable in order to stay there and maintain that weight and build muscle at that weight. But I made so much progress being heavier like that.
Right.
I haven't seen that weight in 8 years.
Yeah.
It's been that long since I was that weight.
You don't necessarily need to go back to that weight. It's like kind of like when you break like into
but
like,
you know what though? I gotta say I don't feel like I've made a ton of progress like that until I was that weight. Like so the heaviest I've been post this point is like around 200, 202. That's like the heaviest I've been. Yeah. So I'm sitting a little bit heavier than that now, like 204. But my point is that I'll diet down to the same number, same place, 180, 185. It's kind of where I sit, and then I'll, you know, bulk in the off season to like 202, and then just keep going through that. But I'm not actually changing anything there. That's like, and then I feel like that's when you're really like milking the whole natty thing, where like, okay, you gain 1 or 2 pounds of lean muscle a year. Yeah. That's bullshit too. I think I wouldn't say I believe that 100% either. You know, you follow what I'm trying to say?
No, I agree, and I think like the key in what you're saying here is that you have to kind of go into that like uncharted territory where you're like, okay, listen, I'm gonna get to what was it, 217? I'm gonna get to 217, even if it's gonna be uncomfortable, it's gonna be sloppy. I have to get there because I'm breaking new ground. You know, once your body's at that certain weight, you're going to be the strongest you've ever been at that weight. You're going to be lifting heavier weights. Your body's going to, at that point, be the strongest it's going to be. It's going to be the most anabolic in terms of, how much weight you could lift, in terms of, turning that into muscle, that strength gain into muscle. And that sticks with you. Obviously not all of it, even if you diet down. But when you're coming from that heavier weight, you get stronger, you're building more muscle, and then you kind of diet back down. That's muscle and strength that you would have probably not put on otherwise. It requires you to sit at that weight to be able to do it. It's like those guys, at the gym who might not actively work out, but they're big dudes. They're like 250, some of them are 300 pounds. They could go in the gym and they could bench press 405. You know what I mean? They're just so heavy. They're so strong. They build muscle doing that. And if they were not at that weight, they would have never been at that level in terms of strength or muscle. So if you take those guys and you diet them down, a lot of them end up being beasts by the time you diet them down. You know what I mean? So just being at that weight, however you get there, does have its benefits. Now, if you're a bodybuilder, do you want to necessarily get there and just put on fat purposely? Not always the best case, but sometimes if like you're a hard gainer or you just don't put weight on well, you have a hard time building muscle, sometimes it requires you to take some of these more extreme measures and just bulk up, put the weight on, put the muscle on, put the strength on, then try to recomposition after that, So there's a time and place to do it. You just don't want to walk around sloppy all the time for the sake of being sloppy, but there's definitely a time and place to just, break new territory, put on extra weight that you haven't normally carried, reach new gains. Like I said, this is the heaviest I've ever been in my life. I'm just not a heavy person. And again, I'm at that point where I'm the strongest I've ever been, the largest I've ever been. And, I've definitely put on the most muscle in the shortest period of time doing this. I was sitting around 185 to 195 for like the past 3 years, and I was recomping a little bit. I was going through little diet phases, bulking phases, but I didn't make any tremendous, gains in terms of how much muscle I was putting on. But I made more even in the last, 6 months to a year, just kind of pushing the envelope and, getting my weight up there so that my strength went up, my muscle went up.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, with me too, especially, I hate being like heavier like that in the summer, man. I can't stand it because I feel like I look like shit. It's the summer. You want to look good. So it's always like when the weather starts getting warm, it's like, I get the itch to like diet down a little bit. And it's the same thing every year. I know that already. So I don't know. I think my goal is going to be to kind of get to 210 and just kind of sit there. Once I hit 210, maybe like hold it for a couple weeks, then like do like a little mini diet and then try to stay at like 210. That would be like the longest I could hold 210 for. But then come summertime, like I said, if I'm going to go in the pool and stuff, I don't want to be fat.
Yeah, I hear you. But you know what it is?
I wish there was a way to I wish there was a way to like just seriously stay at one weight and just like recomp at that weight. I wish.
It's not going to happen. That's the problem. But
I know.
You just kind of gotta just prioritize what you gotta prioritize, and then just get it done with. I always say this. That's about everything too. Like when you have to worry, by summertime I want to be lean. It's like, listen, if you just bulk now, get that weight on you. You're gonna be uncomfortable while you're bulking up, while you're gaining. You're not gonna be your leanest. It's just not gonna happen while you're trying to gain. You kind of go through that phase, get it over with, and just get right back into your diet, get right back into leaning out, and then you'll feel better. Then at that point, but when you're trying to, the thing I'm trying to say is like people half-ass a lot of things. Like they'll half-ass a bulk, and instead of them bulking for 6 months, they got nowhere in 6 months. So like they have to extend it for a year. So then, they're not at where they want to be in terms of leanness for a much longer period of time because they never got through with the bulk. You know what I mean? So it's like sometimes I'd rather just go aggressive for a little while, do what you got to do, then move on because it's a faster process. You know what I mean? Obviously, certain things take a certain amount of time. You're not going to put on 10 pounds of muscle in, 6 months unless you're a complete newbie. But, you don't have to bulk for a year straight. You could bulk for 6 months, diet, recomp, whatever you want to do after that. If you make those 6 months count, that's the key, making it count in the time that you have.
Well, that's why I think you can't waste time too. Like a lot of these guys nowadays, they're like, and we've talked about this in the podcast, add 10 grams of carbs every week, but you're kind of never going to get there either. So think about it. If following my approach, right, you want to be lean for summer. If you realistically started reverse dieting in the summer, like July and August, and then you started bulking up, let's just say September. So then you have September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. There'd be 7 months of bulking. You could start dieting April, diet May. Well, I guess April would count too. So May, June, July. Yeah, and then you'd have a 3 month diet and then reverse diet for 2 months and then bulk. You'd have to just do it harder. Just try to get to that. So for me, using me as an example, I'd have to like sit at my heaviest, diet down to where I feel comfortable. I don't think I would let myself get below 195 though, just for my powerlifting purposes. I think that's a perfect spot. So diet to 195 in the summer, and then again reverse diet for a little bit to end the summer, and then like kind of like enjoy the summer that way. And then come September, really full on, pile the calories back on, and again do it all again. Try to get to 210, try to hold 210, try to get to 215. I think that's a realistic approach when you break it down by year like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's all about
because realistically, I mean, in New York anyway, you don't have to really start dieting until like April, because it doesn't really clothes don't start coming off until like May anyway. You know what I mean? Like
depends
layers.
how much fat you got to lose, obviously. Some people need more time, but yeah, if you're in decent shape, I mean,
you can get in decent shape in 12 weeks, man. Listen, when we first started, people were dieting in 12 weeks, contest ready.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was just a harder diet, but still. It's not like it's impossible.
No, not at all. Not at all. Just
again, for my purposes, I'm just talking about for me in general. Obviously, if you have to lose more, then yes.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's all
do you
about.
Do you think throwing mini cuts in there is a good thing?
See, that depends. Now, if you're gonna go on a long bulk, like if your goal, like I said, it depends on your goal. So, like if your goal is okay, I want to get up 10, 15 pounds, and then I want to kind of recomp it. I wouldn't throw mini cuts in there. I would think it would be useless. It's going to take away from your main focus. You want to bulk, get to your goal, then diet. But now if you say, listen, my goal in general is I just want to get as big as possible. But yeah, I don't really want to get fat. Then, you kind of go on your extended bulk. Your bulk could be a year long. Your bulk could be 3 years long. I mean, I basically did that when I first started training. But you throw in your mini cuts in there just so that your bulk doesn't get out of control. That's really the only purpose I would have for doing mini cuts. But if like your goal is, I want to put on 10 or 15 pounds and then recomp, there's no reason for a mini cut in there.
I feel like just giving you my nutrition, letting you handle it for me, man. I hate thinking about it because I think too much.
Hey, listen, everybody has that problem. Remember when you did it the last time and I got you from like 205 down to like 175 and you looked like 50 Cent?
Yeah, it's a good point, man.
No, it was good though, man. Remember how hard it was to get you that lean, but we did it?
No, I know. And that's why I gave it to you, because I didn't want to think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, maybe I'll do the same thing. But you don't know how to bulk.
I know how to bulk, man.
You don't know how to bulk, man. The heaviest you've ever been is 202. I could get to 202 in my sleep.
Yeah, but you're not listening to me, man. My body doesn't sit at 202.
Because you're a pussy. You're afraid to keep bringing your calories up higher, man.
You're not listening to me. My body doesn't sit at 202. If I stop eating, all of a sudden that 202 becomes 192.
Yeah, well, you don't think the same thing will happen to me?
No, man. You sit at 202 comfortably. How many calories are you eating right now?
36.
Yeah, 3,600. That's like, that's a decent amount.
It's probably a little more than that now, actually, because I've been hitting my macros and then going over on purpose lately, especially with the holidays. There's so much extra food around. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to eat this too. And it's helped me put on a couple more pounds doing that. I should just bump the calories up higher. I don't know, man. I think I got to give you my nutrition to handle, because it's like, it's too much to think about between the training and the nutrition. This is why it's good to have a coach.
Well, you trying to get to 220 right now, or what are you trying to do?
I don't know. I think a good goal is to get to 210 for me. Like a realistic goal is like 210, 215. Mm-hmm. And just kind of like hold and maintain that, because I don't want to get too sloppy and out of shape either. Because like I said, come summer, I want to diet down a little bit.
Yeah,
I know I'm going to want to.
So then this is what you do. You're 206 right now. Then your goal is you want to get to 210.
Yeah, but 206. I was 206 this morning. I'll probably be like,
let's say you're realistically like,
tomorrow.
Yeah, let's say you're 204, 205. So then you want to put on about 10 pounds. So you bulk. We could bulk you up 10 pounds over the next couple of weeks, months. And then, from there, we diet you back down. We recomp you. Like, we won't go on an aggressive diet, but we'll start cleaning up the diet a little bit. When I say clean up, I mean we'll start cutting calories out. We'll pull some unnecessary carbs, fats, things like that. And, we'll start getting your body weight to kind of level off a little bit, and we'll try to recomp you and slowly put you in like a small deficit. Like, maybe not even a deficit, but like right there, just to bring your weight down a little bit. And we do it like that. No need for mini cuts in between. We go, we give you a time frame that we're going to bulk. And then once we hit that number, that weight, we start the diet. We clean it up a little bit. That's the easiest way to do it. No need to complicate it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. I'm just probably going to give you.
But that's the biggest thing, man. The biggest thing is having that goal set. Because like even just right now, I had to ask you, and you were kind of like a little bit unsure. I mean, I know that's what you want to do, but like in your mind, you're like, okay, maybe I should start doing this. Maybe I should start doing that. but you didn't like set a clear goal. Like, okay, I want to get to 210 and then diet down, But then once you did that, it's easy to figure out what plan we're going to follow,
Yeah. The thing is, I just feel uncomfortable at those weights. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, you're
But again,
gonna,
it comes
but
back to what I said.
yeah, you're gonna, but it's all part of the process. You know what I mean? You'll get strong as hell too, though. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a trade-off. You're gonna feel a little uncomfortable. You're gonna be carrying a little bit more body fat than you want. You're gonna be a little bloated, but you know what? Your strength's gonna go through the roof. You're gonna get stronger. You're gonna break new PRs, and you're gonna break new ground.
Yeah, I guess it's good to see. This is one of the benefits of having you as a friend. I can hire you as my coach. At least I trust your opinion.
Yeah, only about nutrition. That's about it.
Yeah, training-wise, no. That's what you have me for.
Yeah, I mean, we could agree to disagree on that one.
Oh,
but
here he goes. Here he goes.
Your training, man. I listen. I let you handle my training because I know that there's a lot of benefit from that. But you just assume that everything I say is not in line with what actually works and what you do. But there's more than one way to skin a cat, I believe. And Anthony, you believe there's one way to skin a cat.
That's not true.
Sure about that, man?
Yeah, it's not true. Every time you had a question, I answered, and you're like, "Oh, that's a good point."
No, you do. Your points are all valid. But I only ask those questions when I don't understand why you put certain things in place.
This guy.
It's all right, man. Listen, my diet and your training got me up to 203. Hopefully your training and my diet gets you to 210, 215.
What can you do? What can you do? So what are you doing for New Year's, man?
I have no plans yet. I mean, I haven't went out for New Year's in like probably 3 years, man. I think last year or the year before, I was actually planning on going out. I got all dressed up. I was at my house. Couple friends came over, whoever I was going out with. Had a couple drinks before. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what, guys? I'm not going out tonight. You guys go. And I stayed in.
Why? That was a depressing
Dude,
story.
I hate going out for New Year's. I hate it. I mean, if I was going to like someone's house or something, or like, spending it with family, or like doing something like low key, I'm cool. But like, I can't go out anymore, man, for New Year's. Like, oh, we're going out to the city, or we're going out to this club or this bar.
Well, you went to Times Square already, right?
I went to Times Square like 2009, 10. No, maybe like 2010 or 11, and it was raining. It was just I went with my cousin.
You wouldn't go in the rain.
Well, this was the story. So my cousin at that time was in college. He lived in my town, but he went to college in Florida, and he had a girlfriend in Florida. So she came out to New York to visit for New Year's, and he said he wanted to take his girlfriend to see the ball drop in the city. So, for anybody that isn't from New York, that sounds like awesome. You know what I mean? But if you live in New York, you really don't give a shit about watching the ball drop live in person, But he was taking his girlfriend who was from Florida. So he's like, you want to come? And the girl I was dating at the time was like, yeah, let's go. And I really didn't want to go, but I'm like, fine, whatever, let's go. I never actually went to the ball. I live in New York, never went to the ball. But it was raining out, but his girlfriend came here from Florida to go see the ball drop. So we got there, and actually my cousin grew up with a NYPD officer who was there on the site, and he was able to get us like from the first gate all the way to the front gate. So we literally got right underneath the ball. So we got the best seat in the house. But it was pouring, it was cold, it was just it wasn't the greatest experience. But hey, listen, I've been there before. It's not too exciting, man. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you want to do it, give it a try.
So many people talk about that, man.
Yeah, I don't. Again, this, I don't get hyped over like so many things that people do. Like, I'm more of a low key guy in general, anyway. So maybe that's just my opinion, but to me, it's just a ball drop you can watch from TV. It's like when you ever been to like a boxing match or a wrestling or anything like that?
I've been to a wrestling event. I've never been boxing, actually.
you know, like it's the same thing, I guess. Same concept. Like while you're there, it's cool, but at the same time, you can watch it on TV. Actually, you know what's a better example? Because it's a little bit different. Because a lot of those, like the wrestling, they kind of interact with the crowd, so it's a little bit different. But like if you ever go watch the Olympia in person and you go sit in the chairs and you can't see shit, but you're there, you end up watching.
The Olympia?
You end up watching the the big screen anyway, and it's like the best view at the Olympia is actually on your couch live streaming it.
Well, it's the same thing like with hockey, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever been to a hockey game?
Yeah.
You have to sit in the front. If you don't sit behind the glass.
Yeah, if you're not behind the glass, it's like if you're not getting some type of interaction, you may as well watch it on TV. You know, and when you're at the ball dropping, you know, the interaction is the people behind you touching you.
It's funny because every year I go to the Subway Series at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees versus the Mets, and we get like the suites, right? So we usually get a suite and we go and it's nice. They serve like food and stuff. It's like a really, really cool experience. But you can't see shit. You can see the field.
You watch it on the TV.
Like it's like a private suite. You could see everything, but it's just like it's total shit. It's like they even have TVs in the suite, so you don't even have to like.
Yeah, you watch it on the TV. You're not even watching.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm just here for food.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's what most people do.
Actually,
Let's go for the
one
food.
One time, one of my clients took me to the Yankee game. Me, my wife, him, and his wife, and we were in. I forget what kind of suite they're called, but it's right behind home plate. And there's like a buffet, but it's like an unbelievable buffet. Like there's sushi, there's lobster. Like it was ridiculous. They bring food, so you go out to the bench, right? Like you sit there, and they deliver food to you, whatever you want. Like I was sitting like a couple rows away from Carmelo Anthony. Like it's legit over there.
Nice,
like that's
man.
cool.
Yeah,
That
like
was
that's
a cool
things
experience.
you want to go for.
But you still
in
can't.
person.
You still can't. Honestly though, you still can't see the whole thing.
Yeah.
You still can't see the whole thing. You know. So man, what did you get for Christmas? I never really asked you. I meant to ask you. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, so I got a couple cool things actually. I don't usually ask for stuff for Christmas because I don't like I mean, who doesn't like gifts? But like you know, I just don't.
What did wifey get you, man?
I don't ever feel like I need something like as far as a gift. Like, oh, I want to get this as a gift. This is something I just kind of want. But so yeah, I got a she got me some Versace cologne. And I'm not really a big cologne guy, but this is some good smelling cologne, actually. She's always like, you know, you should wear cologne. And I'm just like,
you stink like shit, Pete.
Yeah, I like, you know, I
got Burberry Brit
I got the natural smell. You know what I mean? Everyone
musk.
Once you put the the cologne on, now you got a generic smell. Like I got the Pete smell. It's natural, man. There's only one of those smells, but
the musk.
No, you know me, man. I'm keep myself clean, but yeah, I got some Versace cologne. I got some hoodies and stuff like that for the gym. But my mom actually got me some. She got me some new headphones. So I got a new pair of Beats wireless headphones, which are pretty cool. And I got as far as all the gifts I got that were good, those I liked. And I got some new elbow sleeves, which unfortunately I wasn't able to use. I had to return them because they were the wrong size. But I'm working on getting me a new pair. But yeah, I was excited about that actually. I really wanted to use them this week to train, but hopefully next week or so.
Yeah, whenever you get them.
What about you, man? Anything good?
I don't know. What did I get good? I'm trying to think. I got a couple cool things. I got a new razor. I needed a new like buzzer face hair trimmer thing. How else did I get?
Still haven't graduated to a regular razor blade, huh?
Nah, I can't use a regular razor blade, man. I break out too much. My skin is too sensitive. I have to use like a buzzer or whatever.
You gotta get the skin used to it.
Nah, man, I can't. I've tried, dude. I've been shaving for a long time. I've tried. It irritates me too much. So I got that. What else did I get? I don't know. Hoodies, clothes. I'm drawing a big blank on what I got. I got mats for my car, like WeatherTech mats, which are really cool, actually.
Yeah, it's all like stuff where you're like, I could use this to be pretty cool, but not like, I really.
Oh, you know what I got actually? That's cool. It's kind of like fitnessy related. I got an air fryer.
An air fryer, okay. So you make like the French fries with the air.
Yeah, it's kind of like with the air. Yeah, it's like a deep fryer concept, but instead it's like you just spray the thing with Pam. You can make like chicken in it, like chicken tenders in it. I gotta try it. I didn't open the box yet, but I gotta try it. Like, I'm not gonna use it just for potatoes. It's gay. I could just put the potatoes in the oven, you know?
Yeah.
Like regular potatoes, but they do come out good. I've had them in that thing before, and they are good. So I gotta like look up some recipes. If anybody knows some recipes and they want to share them with me, just hit me up on Instagram, AB Fitness, but it's pretty cool. It's like a cool little thing, another cool little fitness toy.
Yeah, I mean, food is always good, so I can't complain about that, right? I wish, you know what I wish, man, I got for Christmas? Someone to just buy me groceries for the whole year.
Yeah.
That would have
It's a
been the
big bill,
best.
though.
That would
It's a
have been
big
the
bill. How
best.
much do you spend every month on food, you think?
I only I go shopping just for me for what I need. This is like not like buying anything like, oh, I want this too, like just like the necessities, like to just, you know,
No, just how much do you spend every month on food? It doesn't forget necessity. Just every
like
time you
I
go
go
food.
grocery shopping once a week and I spend like 120 bucks. That's it. That's all I spend. Occasionally, like I'll make like, are you like including like snacks and shit? Like let's say I go to get like frozen yogurt tonight because I'm in the mood.
Nah.
So
That's
just
like going out
grocery
to eat. That's
shopping.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
grocery shopping. Like if I go and I every week I go, I spend about 120 bucks on average. So it's not
Yeah,
much.
that's about like what I spend on
Yeah,
my
it's
stuff.
not much. Because I go really basic, but if I wanted to get like, oh, I want to buy these cereals and this ice cream and this, like, I don't regularly buy that shit. Like, occasionally I'll just say, I'm going to move for ice cream tonight and I'll just buy a tub of ice cream or something like that. But, it's the same thing. I just basically get a certain amount of, beef, chicken, turkey, get my eggs, I get my, my whole wheat breads, wraps, rice, potatoes, and like some veggies and a little bit of fruit and some nuts. And that's like it. That's like all my groceries. That's like the same thing every single week, and I enjoy it. And it's pretty simple and it's basic, and it doesn't cost me too much. Depends where you go, though.
One of my clients, we're talking about their nutrition, obviously, because that's what I do with my in-person clients. Talk about nutrition. They have food plans they have to follow. Macros, whatever. So one of my clients actually, I thought it was really smart. What she does is she buys like chicken that's already cooked in the bag, and she keeps it in the house, and that's what she eats. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, that's more expensive to do that.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? It's not that much harder to cook the food. And then I was like, one day I was at the store, I was like, let me try. I'll buy a bag. Dude, it's the easiest thing ever, man. So, dude, like, I'm not even kidding. It literally saves me so much time. And then I was like, you know what? I'm wasting time preparing chicken. I'm wasting time preparing this, preparing that. I bought now, those minute rices in the little cups?
Yeah, I do that too.
So I bought a whole bunch of those. They're so cheap. They're like $2 for like 2 cups.
But it's like, I usually buy the big box of it, and I just pour what I want in a bowl, and it's the same
yeah, but
thing.
but then you got to store that in the fridge. Like I'm all about right now.
No, you don't got to store it in the fridge.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying, like, if I just want like a serving of rice, I'll pour a serving of it in a bowl, and then I'll put the water in and I'll microwave it.
How long does that take? I never did it like that.
Like 2 servings, it's like 6 minutes.
It takes me 90 seconds, man. Like that's
those are
that's
the
what I mean.
smaller
Like
ones.
there's no measuring.
The small ones are faster, but this you just.
My point is I save. My point is I save so much time like doing that. So I bought a whole bunch of that, a whole bunch of cans of tuna, and literally, and my meals have been so easy because of that. Like I haven't made chicken or like protein in my house in a while. Like cold cuts too is another thing that I've been eating lately.
Yeah.
I like cold cuts, so cold cuts don't bother me. But I just tell them to when they make the cold cuts, I tell them to just put it in. Measure them out in 4 ounces. So I know, okay, I'll just take this much. Boom, that's 4 ounces. Anything like ready to go has made my life so easy. So I definitely recommend that to anyone listening to this because it definitely is a huge time saver. Like I know if I need protein, like I'm finished eating for the day, but I know if I needed 50 grams of protein, it's gonna be one of those things. It's like it's such a pain in the ass to cook. I don't feel like making egg whites, so I literally just go get the chicken out, use that. And it's done. Literally 1, 2, 3, it's finished. I put some rice if I need to. And even like the liquid egg whites in the carton, that's another clutch time saver for me. One of those little cartons is 50 grams of protein. If I do make anything, it's just like one of those things. And that's good for me too right there. So just time saving things. Because time is one of those things like I've been telling you that I've had the realization you don't get back. So time is of the utmost importance. So if I'm taking longer to cook my food than I am to eat it, there's a problem. And again, it comes back to making bodybuilding fit into your life as opposed to revolving your life around bodybuilding,
Yeah, I mean, it's different when you're cooking. Like, the average person says, oh, I want chicken for dinner. So they'll cook the chicken because it's one meal, it's dinner, But when you're going to eat it 4 or 5 times a day and you got to prepare it every single time, it's going to slow you down.
Yeah. So I don't know. That just made I'm telling you, man, try it. It definitely made my life so much easier.
I mean, I do similar things. Like I said, I use minute rice too. I mean, I have a rice cooker, and it's easy just to put it in the rice
do
cooker.
too. You know what it is?
You got to clean it up afterwards.
Yes.
That's my pain in the ass with that.
Yes,
I gotta wash the rice. You got to rinse the rice. You got to measure it. Then you got to measure the water. Then you turn it on, and it's like, all right, if I'm going to go to the gym or something and I come back, it's ready. It's still on warm, whatever. It's cool. But then afterwards, then you got to take it out.
You got to store the rest.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
it
too
is
much
a
of work.
bigger process.
I mean, again, we're talking about like, rice here. The rice, it's not going to break the bank, but just the convenience of it. I take 2 of those containers out. That's 90 grams of carbs.
Yeah, easy.
You know what I mean? So it's so easy. 90 seconds done.
That's the way I like it.
And then cans of tuna. It takes 2 seconds to open up a can of tuna.
Yeah, I always keep cans of tuna on reserve. Like, that's like, all right, if there's nothing around or I don't want to cook, just grab tuna. But, like, I'll never use it as my primary source of food. Like, I'm going to have tuna.
Dude, the other day when we went shopping, when you came with me to the store, and the tuna was on sale for 77 cents a can, I should have stocked up, man, because I already ate all those cans. And I hate spending more than $1 on tuna, because as soon as you spend anything more than $1, it's going to go on sale for less.
Yeah.
So next time it's on sale, I'm just going to stock up and buy like 50 cans. Did you see how I stocked them in my cabinet?
No.
Oh, you didn't see? I like literally piled them up all the way to the top of my supplement. So my supplement cabinet now, I shared my supplements with food. So literally the bottom shelf is supplements, multivitamin, fish oil, muscle fuel, some caffeine's in there, New York Muscle Radio protein. And then on the top shelf is literally a whole bunch of those mini rice, cans of tuna, and what? Oh, and I put nuts in there today. Cashews. I bought cashews today.
Yeah. Simple foods, man.
Yeah, but you need that stuff on the go,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
when you're bulking and trying to get calories in. You're like, you can't get too creative, And we were talking about this yesterday, how you're having a hard time getting carbs in. Literally 100 grams of carbs in cereal in the morning, simple with whey protein. Then again, I do 2 cups of rice, 2 of those cups of rice. That's 90 grams of protein, carbs right there, with whatever tuna or whatnot. And then I'll do maybe like 2 bagels later on. That's another 100 and something grams of carbs. So it's it's easy 300 grams of carbs right there without even trying.
Yeah, man. I got these candies sitting in front of me from Christmas, man. I'm still sitting here staring at these, and we're talking about carbs. I'm about to start eating them. I got some Twix. I got some Butterfingers, some Snickers.
Butterfingers are so good, man.
Reese's peanut butter. I kind of want a Twix, man.
I'm not a fan of Twix.
I'm not either, but I kind of want one.
Staring at you.
I got one more Reese's peanut butter cup here too. I might eat this.
Reese's peanut butter cups are good. For a while, my breakfast in the morning when I was bulking used to be 2 Butterfingers and a shake.
That's disgusting, man. 2 Butterfingers. Why?
2 Butterfingers.
Don't get me wrong.
Butterfingers. There's a lot of carbs, man. It was like 75 grams of carbs. I didn't feel like I was eating anything, and it tasted good.
Butterfinger is my favorite chocolate bar by far, but I don't know if I want to get up and have, because you know what it is too. The protein powder is so sweet when you start mixing it like that. It's like it's too much, So you had it.
It took me five minutes to make.
You should have just blended it.
You
should have blended it and just put it in there.
Nah, I just eat it.
Who used to do that? Remember at the gym, kids used to come in with like their protein powder and like add like they'll say, "Can you put this in there?" And they throw in like what were they throwing in? Pop-Tarts in the shake.
Oh God, I've never seen that before.
You don't remember that?
Pop-Tarts in the shake?
Yeah. They'd say like, give me 2 scoops of iso pure and put this in there too, like a Pop-Tart. I'm not even kidding.
Ew. Why would you just eat the Pop-Tart though?
I know. I have no idea. That was my joke. I'm like, why don't you just throw the Butterfinger in the shake?
Look, you just ate it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Thanks for sharing on the other end. Send me one virtually.
There you go. You can have the wrapper, man.
Is it good?
Not really. My dog wants it, though. Every time I open up, for some reason, every time I open up a Reese's peanut butter cup, she runs to my feet like I just opened up like the greatest can of like dog food or whatever else she likes. But it's like, I don't know why. Nothing else. Just Reese's peanut butter cups. If I open up a Twix right now, she's not going to want it.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for today's episode. But, guys, make sure you head on over and sign up for that transformation contest. Remember, it's going to start the first week of January, and we're trying to fill up the groups as much as possible. We want to get everyone in there. Remember, this is your chance to get discounted coaching for, nothing pretty much. And you get to work with 2 of the best coaches in the industry. Pete, what else you want to add, man? You didn't really talk about the transformation group.
Man, I can't stress it enough, and I said this earlier about being in that group environment where you guys, just take each other to the next level in terms of having that support, having that, that little motivation, that friendly rivalry, regardless of you needing a coach or thinking you need a coach, I'm telling you, just putting yourself in that atmosphere, iron sharpens iron. I've said that before. It's exactly what takes people to the next level. Same thing, like I said, with me and Anthony, when me and you together, iron sharpens iron. We're always pushing each other in the gym. We're always, forcing each other to level up. And when you're in that environment with people that are on the same level as you, some people maybe a little bit ahead, some maybe a little bit behind, it just motivates you because you're surrounded by all these people that are just like you, but they're all going in the same direction. So you guys, that group aspect of it is what makes it so great, and what's really the main part of where many people's success comes from in that group. So if you're not a part of it already, definitely check it out, because I can only tell you what it's like, but when you become a part of it and you see how having that group atmosphere helps you, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Hey guys, so experience the fitness with New York Muscle Radio. NewYorkMuscleRadio.com/transformation. Happy New Year, guys. Here's to another year of listening.
New York Muscle Radio, and we're out.
Enjoyed this episode of New York Muscle Radio? Make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave us a 5-star review, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, New York Muscle Radio.